Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming. So today I'm revisiting a game that I played on the channel, probably a year ago, called Necromunda Underhive Wars. It's a game that I did quite a few videos on, and it's a turn-based game, and it's a game that I liked a lot, and it's got lots of good things about it. And I was thinking this morning, for no reason at all, why I haven't played it for a long time, and I kind of realised, and I just thought I'd make a very small video. I'm not going to do any gameplay in this, just kind of going through the reasons, because I don't remember if I ever did an overall view of the game, but this is an overall view of the game, looking back, especially looking back as to why I've not played it again for a long time, probably since I played it on the channel, and at the time I was playing it a lot. And unlike games like Phantom Doctrine, I'm talking about turn-based games now, XCOM 2, I've played them a lot regularly, but this I haven't since then. And the reason is, and it's very simple really, the gang thing is really good. I like the gangs. The animation is fantastic. It's the characters are really good. How it looks is really good. How it plays is really good. The levels of the missions are really good. It's all very well done. You've got different gangs. I'll just show you in case you've never seen this before, but I'm sure you have. But just to show you the animations of the gangs, and this is 5, I think. But I think it's 5. Yeah, 5. I think 2 are DLC. You have to buy. They're not much money. But anyway, yeah, these 5 different gangs. They all have different things that are good and bad and different looks. I think on the channel I played as Van Sar, which is the kind of, for want of a better term, they're the tech one. And I played as House Escher, which is like a toxin one. They poison people and stuff like that. I've never played these 2, and this one is a DLC which I didn't buy. And Van Sar is a DLC I did buy. So the look of the characters is really good. The animations are good. I'd say equally as good as XCOM 2. Almost better, because XCOM 2 has always got that really glitzy, which I like, and I played XCOM 2 all the time, so I'm not saying anything against it, but it's got that glitzy kind of look where it's all shiny and everything. This is like grim dark kind of thing, obviously, because it's in the Warhammer world. And you can see from there, that's one of the characters from House Escher, and she looks fantastic. I mean, I'd say that character modding is better than the ones in XCOM 2. So everything about it is very good, but here's the problem, and this is why I thought this is why I've not played it again. The problem is with this game that what you're basically doing when you're playing as a gang is you're playing an arena. Because what happens is you play as your gang, and it's really great. There's absolutely tons of mods you can have on your gang, and there's loads of ways you can level up. There's loads of customization. It's absolutely endless. It's really brilliant. I don't think they could have done any better. There's loads of things you can pick up, stims and buffs, and there's loads of abilities. You can level up all your different gang members. They can get injuries, which I think again is fantastic. Long-term injuries. They can have to replace their arms, or they can walk with a limp. It's absolutely brilliant. The only problem is that all you're doing over time is leveling up your gang, and then you keep going back into an arena. And yeah, you can up your kind of arena level, because you can pick to go to a more difficult area, and the opposing gangs is either more gangs or these gangs with more members that you fight. But at the end of the day, all you're going to end up doing over time is going backwards and forwards to this arena where you've got these battles, and you can decide which battle to go to, and you get resources, bring them back, you go through that area, come back, level up more and more, go to a new arena or a new level, and that's what it is. And that's the problem, because over time, I think with any game, and like I said, the ones I've mentioned, the 2, let's go for XCOM and Phantom Doctrine and whatever, you have like a story interwoven. XCOM 2, for example, which I've played absolutely tons, more of the Chosen as well. You can go back into that, and you can play again, and of course the things that happen, the events that happen are the same in the game, but you get the chance to, you can string that out a long time. You can keep the alien from getting to the point where they can win, because you can keep attacking their facilities, you can keep doing things to stop them, and you can get them down to where their avatar research is really low. If you've ever played XCOM, you'll understand what that is, and they can't be getting anywhere close to succeeding. So you can keep going around playing new missions, playing new battles, or you can just go straight through the story, do it like that, go for a win, kill everybody you want when you can, destroy the facilities, do the right research, and just plan to win. But you can stall that for a while, but you still have the story, and so you're building up your soldiers to go on the missions, and because each soldier's leveling up is important. If you've got an injured soldier, then you need them for the mission when you're doing the final missions, when you're attacking the Chosen, when you're fighting the Chosen, when you're fighting in the Chosen stronghold, then all the agents matter. Leveling up them has a difference. You've got the story to progress through if you want, and you can drag it out through just playing over and over again with the same bits and pieces if you want. With this, there's no real story. I'll come to it as a story in a minute. There's no real story other than you're going into the arena and fighting, which is fantastic. The combat's brilliant in this game. I love it. I love everything about this game, except what would make it perfect, what would make it ongoingly playable, is if you actually had a story ongoing, which is like you got your gang leveled up, whichever gang you might be. You went back, like with XCOM, like with any game, rearmed your soldiers with your guys, with gang members, with the new stuff you've got, leveled them up. It would matter if someone got injured. But in this, you're not really doing it for any reason, because all that's going to happen is you go back into another arena, and over time that becomes slightly less interesting, because it's much more fun to level up your gang, to go on the story missions as well. The arena will be great, that idea, which is, again, it's an XCOM idea, go and rescue that VIP, happens in Phantom Doctrine, go and get that cell, destroy that cell, rescue that agent. So you have them in that, which are very similar to arena missions. It's the same basis. You've got a thing you do to level up and continue, just overall in the whole game, like a side mission almost. But these story missions, so it means there's always something progressing, and there's always something happening that's slightly different, and you're progressing your own soldiers, gang, whatever, to do this overall thing, which makes a difference. In this, you're not. You're just going backwards and forwards to the side mission. So it would be like if XCOM, all you did was attack alien facilities, which would be great. That'd be really fun. But over time, attacking alien facilities, however much they got better and stronger, and however much you got better and stronger, would still be just attacking different alien facilities. If in fact Phantom Doctrine all you did was attack enemy cells all the time, which is really fun, in a different way from alien facilities in XCOM, that would be really great. It's really fun to do. But if all that happened was the enemy cells got slightly stronger and you got slightly stronger over time, that would be boring. You need the rest of the story. And what this hasn't got is any other story. So after you spend a lot of time just leveling up your gang and going backwards and forwards, you kind of think, okay, well, it's another arena to go to. Do I really want to go for another arena and get some resources, come back and then do it all again? And I think that's why I kind of stopped playing it. There is this thing which is like a story, the basic story, and the problem with that is, I'm not going to play it, but the problem with this is the story is fine, but it's very strange because it doesn't involve your gang. You're playing like as, when you play in the next part of the story, you play as the Rowdy Boys, and you're playing as a gang that you've never had any interaction with in the main story. And that's good, kind of. It's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it completely removes the premise of what you're doing with your gang. What would be really great if they could merge the two, and when you played in this, you could take your gang. So instead of it being the Rowdy Boys, and that would make much more sense to how the whole game is, you took your gang, your own gang that you knew all the individuals, you knew who you wanted to take, just like you would in XCOM. So that's what that is. And it would be like, again, it would be like if in XCOM 2, when you went to do the main missions, the story missions, instead of taking your own soldiers, you had this set bunch of guys who aren't your soldiers, and you had to use them, and you'd be like, well, what's the point to levelling up my own guys? And that's the problem with this, because you spend a lot of time levelling up your soldiers, a lot of time, and it's really fun. Like I said, it's more fun than XCOM, because in XCOM everyone's got the same weapon. When you XCOM 2, everyone's got the same weapon. When you level them up, they've all got a phase rifle, or a plasma rifle, or the same gun, or the same sniper rifle. They all get the same thing. Whereas in this, everyone can have different weapons. All the weapons are different. They've all got different levels. So even if you get the same sword, or the same machete, or the same hammer, or the same bolt gun, they've all got slightly different stats. So it's fantastic. And then the fact you can't take them into the story missions is just not good. And all this game needed was that element. There's my, I don't think I played, like I didn't play them on the channel. This is my original gang from House Escher. They look fantastic. I really like how everything looks in this. And then we could go to a mission. And like I said, the problem with that is you just go to a mission and you do it, and then you come back and you level up, but you're just leveling up to come back to the arena. And if only the two parts of this game could merge, and you could do the story missions with your own gang, it would make it perfect. I don't know why they've done that. I don't know if it's because it's easier. It must be easier, I guess, to make a story without using individual gangs. So you just use the set gang that's in the mission, in the story mission. But it doesn't make sense for this game any more than it would with XCOM or Phantom Doctrine. It doesn't make sense to build up your team, your gang, your soldiers, whatever it is, and then not use them when you go to story. And that is the problem with this game. It's the only problem I have with this game. I would say this game would almost be better than XCOM 2 if it just linked the two. If you could just take your own gang on story missions, it would be fantastic. And then that would give it the same premise, the same playability as XCOM or Phantom Doctrine, etc., etc., etc. Where you're even things. There's lots of games that I could mention, but it would give it the same overall feel. Whereas in this game, you've got almost two separate things. You've got the arena bait part, where you're playing with the gangs you create, and the story part when you're playing with a set gang. And those two things don't merge well together, because there's a big disconnect when you're going to the story mission just playing a random gang. And I'm not saying playing the random gang in a story mission isn't fun, because it's fun, but it's strange and weird that they did it like that, and it doesn't feel engaging, because it's just a random gang. And however they set the story, and they give you a few paragraphs to build up to the story, nice little cinematic scene of why this is happening, that's not your gang. You've been playing for many arenas with your own gang, and suddenly you've got to play with this other gang that's not your gang, and you don't know any of their capabilities. Yes, if you play the game a lot, you'd understand how the things work, but you don't know these individuals, you don't know how they work, and you've not built them up. And it's disappointing, because you want your gang, your army, your soldiers, your agents, whatever it is in whichever game, to be the ones that go and do the story, not a preset gang. And that's why I've not played this again since the time I first played it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Necromunda Underhive Wars. And as I came into this, and as I was talking even, I remember how much I enjoyed this. I remember looking at the gang, and I think, yeah, I really want to do it. But then I think, okay, I would do it, and I'd just go to another arena and another arena and another arena, and it would just be the same thing, just getting bigger, more gangs, more powerful gangs, more members in gangs, me and them, us and them, but it wouldn't be anything other than that. going on and on and on, and that's what kind of stops me. So it's a game that I really wish had merged the two parts, tasting, instead of being a really good experience and a really well made game where you can really enjoy the arena part to a certain point, but it becomes very repetitive without the story part being linked very directly with your actual gang. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Necromunda. Like I said, I've made lots of videos about this game before. It's a game I like, and I would definitely recommend any turn-based players to play it, but with the warning that unless you want to just do an arena game over and over again for a very long time, at a certain point you'll get to the point I got, which is like, okay, you can play different gangs, but at a certain point you're just doing the same thing over and over to play in an arena. Anyway, thanks for watching, and in the meantime, take care from Guessagaingaming.